Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake, and what we're going to make are sugar and chocolate donut muffins. Now, I do have a very traditional donut muffin recipe, a video already on my channel, so if you particularly don't like this one, do check it out. The batter is a little bit different than the one that I'm going to be doing for this video. So let's get started. We're going to first start off with 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. And of course, you can use your hand mixer for this if you prefer. And we're going to be putting in 1 egg that I've had at room temperature. And you want to beat this till it becomes a pale yellow in color. And that shouldn't take too long. I'm going to raise my speed to move it along for the video. And I'll show you what that looks like. It's a very pale yellow. Okay. All right. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to the dry ingredients. We're going to kind of change it up a little bit. And what we're going to be putting in is 1½ cups of all-purpose flour. We're going to put a 2 teaspoons of baking powder in there. We're also going to put 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to be putting in 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And then I'm just going to stir that up a little bit here with a spoon. And I'm going to start putting the dry ingredients in. Just to mix it together. You don't have to beat it, just so it kind of stirs it together. At this point, now we're going to add 1/4 cup of oil. And that's going to be up to you what type of oil that you like to bake with. So that was 1/4 cup. And the next thing we're going to be putting in is 3/4 cup of milk. And I'll start to put it in slowly. And the very last thing that you're going to be putting in is 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm just going to raise my speed up a little bit. And you don't want to beat it long because you don't want these donut muffins to be tough in texture. So just till you see it's nicely combined. And that shouldn't take you very long at all. I'm just cleaning the sides of my bowl here. I want to get my paddle out, get rid of the excess, and put that aside for the moment. Now I'm going to show you what the batter looks like. Now, it just looks like a traditional batter. It's nice and creamy and medium thick in texture. Now, if you want to make a traditional muffin out of it, you're going to get 10 of them out of them. You can fill about 3/4 of the way of your paper liners. I'm going to change it up a little bit today, and I'm going to actually use my cake pop and donut hole maker instead of baking them the large muffins. Again, with the large muffins, if you're going to, do that, you want to bake them at 350 degrees, and they're going to take you anywhere from 15 to 18 minutes, okay? But again, like I said, I wanted to kind of change this recipe up a little bit, and again, I'm going to use my little maker here. I went ahead and sprayed it. And I'm going to, let me get rid of this for a second here. And I'm just going to fill the little wells up to about 3/4 of the way. Now, if you don't have one of these makers, then of course make these donut muffins with a traditional cupcake pan. But I thought it would be kind of fun to change up this recipe. And usually just follow, you know, your indicator light on your maker to tell you when they're done. Okay, now while those are baking, I do have some to show you what they look like when they come out. And this is how they will come out. A nice golden brown on the outside. As I mentioned about changing it up, I thought what a great idea it would be to dip them in various chocolates and colored morsels and that type of thing. Now, when they do bake up, when they come out of your maker, I want to go back just a little bit. You'll want to actually dip them in melted butter, okay? And then once that you do that, then traditionally you'll roll them in cinnamon and sugar. That's what a lot of these donut muffins are like, and they really do come out great. In fact, I'm going to show you one that that I already did, and again I rolled it in butter and then rolled it again in the sugar cinnamon mixture. So that's your traditional donut muffins. Now you're going to do the same thing if you're using the large muffins. Dip the large muffin into your butter and then you know, roll the tops with your cinnamon and sugar. Now for the amount of butter that you're going to need to do that, you need about 2 tablespoons of melted butter and a half a cup of granulated sugar for the rolling if you're doing your cupcakes, okay? And I have some chocolate here already that's warm. The little muffins aren't done yet. I also went ahead and I melted some cherry morsels, about 2 ounces of the morsels and the chocolate to a half a teaspoon of shortening in my microwave. And I have, you know, the milk chocolate bars here, the 2 ounces to the half teaspoon of shortening that I have in the warmer. And then I went ahead and I did the same thing with flavored colored morsels, the orange, and then I'd have the cherry morsels, and then I actually have green morsels. So those are ready for dipping. These aren't quite ready yet, but I'm just going to go ahead and take this one, and I just actually using just this little skewer here, and just dip your little donut in your chocolate. Take off the excess. If you want to garnish them with something a little different, you can go ahead and use your colored jimmies and just sprinkle those all over it, or chocolate jimmies if you want to decorate it that way. And then I just lay them on a little tray till they harden up like that. So you can just make them look a little colorful by doing that. You can use you know, the different colored confettis, depending on whatever maybe occasion that you're making them for, that type of thing. Or just, as I said, you can dip them in chocolate. They don't take very long to set up at all. If you're trying to hurry it along, you can actually you know, put them on your tray and put them in the refrigerator for maybe 5 minutes or so, and they'll harden up nicely for you that way. And let's see. All right, I'm going to take this out. It's still warm. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to dip it in the orange. And again, just lay them on the tray. If you want to cover up the little hole that was left, I usually just take a little bit of it and then put it on the top like that. Okay? You can be as decorative as you want with these. What I've done with a lot of them is I dip them in chocolate and then I use a contrasting color over the top of them. Now I have some to show you what they look like when they are finished. And this is exactly what they're going to look like. Again, these are the traditional ones that I rolled in butter and put cinnamon sugar, rolled them in there. And these I dipped in chocolate and then I put a contrasting color over them. And as I said, you can, do them in, colored jimmies or chocolate sprinkles. I mean, whatever that you can think of, really. And they come out so pretty. They make a nice little presentation, and it changes it up a little bit. So there you have it. You've got donut muffins, chocolate, dipped in chocolate or cinnamon and sugar. I hope you like this recipe. If you do and you try it, leave a comment because I'd like to hear from you. And as always, thanks for watching and please subscribe.